Hey everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. I broke down and I bought a couple molds from Molds and Shapes. They are based in the Netherlands and I was watching Petra. Hey Petra, if you're watching, I doubt it, but anyway, I saw you do this mold and I fell in love with it. So I had to order one. I also ordered some coaster molds from them, so I'll try those another day. But this mold has some line inlays that will break up the piece. It's a tray mold. It's a pretty good size one too. It holds probably 11-12 ounces. And today I wanted to make a Christmas piece. So I'm going to use Christmas colors. This is my red wine and it's a fine glitter. And this one is my evergreen. And that one also is a fine glitter. So I think what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to use gold as the backing, and I'll link everything below. So I think I'm going to fill two sections, I'm not sure which two, with glitter, and I'm going to use my fast cure for this section of it. And then I will turn the heat mat on, get it nice and cured or tacky or whatever, and then I'm going to come in, I'm going to pour some black alcohol ink transparent with my gold mica powder and hopefully crackle the back of it so when we flip it over, it'll be a beautiful Christmas tray. And you could probably add handles if you wanted to, or you can even make it a bowl. I'm wondering if I can catch it quick enough and I can still work with it. Maybe I will make it a bowl, but if I don't catch it quick enough where I can manipulate it into a bowl, then I'll just leave it a tray. So I'm gonna have to play that part by ear. So I did mix up some fast cure already. I'm just going to split it in half and mix up my glitters in here and get those poured in and see how this turns out. I'm so excited. It took a little while to get here because we are so far away. But when it showed up the other day, I was really excited. I wanted to try it so bad. And kind of the coaster molds that I ordered for them are similar, as like they have lines as well, but they're more jagged lines than these. They're not so perfect. So I will try those on another video on another day and see what I can come up with for that one. But this one caught my eye, especially with a Crackle background. I know I'm stuck on Crackles, guys. I'm sorry. But there's so many different ways you can use it and so many different colors to try. All right, so let me see. Is that enough? I want more. I want it packed with glitter, even though I know it's probably too much resin mixed up. I'll just make some pendants or something with the rest. But I didn't want to be too short and have to mix some more up. So I'm thinking, which ones do I want? I think I'll do the top and the bottom this time. And I'm hoping those lines will hold my glitter in without it moving. Let me get a silicone tool here to help it. Yeah, it looks like it's going to hold it in. right, I'll bring it down. And it's sitting beautifully in these lines. So I'm just going to let it sit for a little while and degas real quick, and then I will turn the heating mat on and get this cured so we can move on. It's cured pretty good. It still bends, but definitely can touch it with no fingerprints. And I mixed up 8 ounces of my pump resin. Surprise, surprise. Okay, as I was mixing it, I realized this was still sitting on the heat mat over there. And it's not cooling down quick enough, so I've already mixed my resin. So I've moved this to the countertop over here where it's cooler. This is just barely warm now. I don't want to heat it up at this point. I don't want to speed up the process of the crackle effect. So I'm going to let it sit over here while I mix the colors. So I split this. This one has 3.5 ounces. I'm going to make the lesser amount one the transparent black for the veins. So just mix up whatever color you want that your veins will be. In this case, I want them to be black. You don't even have to use a color. You can use clear if you want to. They will still show up. And I'm just going to get it mixed as good as I can. Evenly as I can. And then I will mix up my gold. And I really would love to make a bowl out of this, but I'm thinking I don't have an oval bowl that I could put it over while it waits to cure. I'm trying to think of something I can use if I caught it at the right time. I'd have to make sure I'd catch it kind of at the stage it's at now where you can still bend it, but you don't leave any fingerprints. But I don't know what I could put it over and have a decent shape, so it may be a tray. I just added a few more drops because it was really still very, very transparent. And you're just going to pour your transparent in first, which looks pretty good. And then pour your mica color of your choice over it. Kind of centered. I'm going to be doing this one in an oval shape since it is an oval. I would do it in a circle if you're doing a circle. And let it do its thing as long as possible. I don't want to speed up the process. I will give you a little bit of a time lapse until I need my phone back. So I will let you see how it moves. Now make sure you mix your mica well, because you don't want anything floating, although it would float to the surface, and this surface is the back of the tray, so it wouldn't be a huge deal. But now I can't see the stick, and that's about how you want it. And then basically, I'm not waiting for any temperature. I'm just mixing and pouring. I'm just going to pour it in and make sure it's even. Scrape everything out. Don't want to waste any. I used the extra resin from the first pour into some pendants, so those will be nice and Christmassy. So I will make sure to put those as free gifts right now, so you can use them for Christmas if you want. All right, so this is coated. I'm just going to get my alcohol and spray it. I don't want to torch something this thin. And I'm wondering, I didn't check the level of the surface here. Let me see if this is level first. Yep, it was level. See, I have some mica powder floating. Once you set it down for a minute or so, you can see if anything's floating, and then just remix it. Now this is not going to fill up the whole thing. I mixed up 8 ounces, and I'm pretty sure it holds, if you domed it, probably 12. So I'm just going to pour this kind of in the shape of the mold. it's gonna move and do its own thing. And I will scrape this cup too. Get it all in there. And then don't touch it. Just don't help it. Don't play with it. Don't heat it. And I forgot to get my alcohol because I got distracted from my level surface. Okay, that's good. I was just making sure. I'm just going to spray it with a bit of alcohol to pop bubbles. And then I'm going to leave it alone. That's from the alcohol drips, so I guess I could torch it right now. It's pretty thick with resin, so, oh, this torch. I'm always running out of gas. And I can never push the button down. I do not want to mess up this mold at all. Okay, let me put you on a time lapse. It is pretty cured, although it's the perfect time to cast this into a bowl, and I've been thinking for hours and hours and hours what I have to put it over, and I have nothing oval shaped to make this into a bowl. So if you guys have any ideas, this thing is about, how big is this? The bowl is about almost 10 inches long if it was a bowl, and 6 3/4 inches wide. So if you know about or where I can get a bowl so I can make a bowl out of it, so I could shape it over or inside, one or the other, I don't know, but it's bendy enough to do it, but it's cured enough to demold. So I'll show you my extras. I just took some pinch bales. Oops, that's backwards, goes that way. And I did a few pendants that I had left. So some of you people out there in Glitterland might get a Christmas pendant this year in your package. So I'm going to set those aside. I did use a heat mat. I didn't move it over anywhere, so I used the heat mat to cure it. I moved it over here, I guess, from over there when it was good enough and it wouldn't be messed up. So what did you think about that time lapse? I don't know what to think about that swirl. There must have been, yeah, there was a piece of dust in it to make that swirl. So let's get this out of the mold, and then I'll let it finish curing overnight and see if I need some handles. Ooh, that looks pretty. This here is the line. Here's lines. So I'm thinking acrylic paint and then wipe the excess off. Look at that pretty. It's got like a black from the transparent around the edge, so like a border. Maybe I can put a decal on there or something and top coat it. I'm gonna have to think about that overnight while I wait for it to fully cure. So there's a couple tiny little bits. Remember I was saying to mix your mica powder good? That's why. But I like it. I'm really happy with it. Let me see. So I think if I paint the lines, Do I do gold or do I do black? Let me think about it. I decided on black, and I tested a little corner here. So I took my dotting tool, some acrylic ink, and basically I'm wiping it, pushing it, I guess, more than wiping it. And I also have this little squeegee that might work to get it into there. Well, no, it's not getting it in there. So I guess I'll use this. Maybe the pointy part. I don't know. Have any of you done this before? I don't usually pick molds with inlays for this reason. And then, let me check, a little bit of alcohol to wipe it off, the extra. So that'll work, and it'll leave the black behind. What do you think? Is that how you do it? I'm truly asking because I do not know. But hey, whatever works, right? I'm just wondering if there's an easier way that I don't know about, but this way is not too bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this finished, and tomorrow I will get you some final pictures because it's really late at night and I don't want to take pictures tonight. Oh, well, no, actually, I'm going to think about putting a decal on, and if I do that, this is going to have to be dry so I could top coat it, but I don't know if I really want a decal on it. I'll kind of go through my Cricut stuff and see if there's any festive sayings or something I can choose from. All right, so I won't bore you, but you can watch the fast forward version if you're interested. It's done. Tell me what you think. So I had Dawn put me my little handles on. Since I didn't make it a bowl, I made it a tray. And we had to screw them on to this one, so I had to raise it up off the surface. So I did some cork pieces, plus it won't scratch your table. I trimmed this edge because I did not dome it, so I did have trimming to do. So I used my little thingy-majiggy, my deburring tool, to get that edge off. And how do you like it? The only thing I would change is I would thicken up my glitter. I would put way more glitter in because on the red you can kind of see through the red, but the crackle is underneath. But the green is pretty good. You can't really see through the green, but I should have added more red because this is super fine glitter and I didn't add enough. So that is it. That is today's. I did not top coat it. I have glitter everywhere. So I let the black paint dry overnight. It's been about 24 hours. So that is dry. I didn't top coat it. I don't know if you need to. I mean, it could be a little jewelry tray or whatever. I wouldn't use it for food. I mean, obviously it's too small. So I hope you enjoyed it, learned a little bit more on the Crackle. So what I learned is like 50% transparent to 50% mica, just almost that range. And that's the effect we got in the Crackle on there. And I did not pour any clear in the center, so I didn't end up with a little hole in the center. So I might have to try this again in different colors. I'm in love. I could do different sections or even just something different in each section. That would be cool. This is many, many possibilities. So Petra, if you're watching, I'm so glad I saw your video because I loved this mold. All right, guys, I will see you on the next video. You have a blessed day. Bye.